so I think I have an addiction. So, over the past week, Nintendo decided to put another game trial on their fabled internet service, which is Nintendo Switch Online, and this time they decided to do the hit indie game Stardew Valley, and by the recommendation of my friend, I decided to try it out. And well, I've put around 20 hours into the game over the past week, and even bought the game at its discounted rate. So, I figured I would give you a little update and tell you if the game is really worth it or not. And my experience is 20 hours in. I hope you all enjoy. But what is a Stardew Valley? Well, the developer of the game concerned was heavily inspired by the Harvest Moon series, and midway through the production of the game that he made himself, a company came through and decided to try to help him publish it. And it's been a commercial success, selling over 20 million copies and being on every platform. Switch, Xbox, PlayStation phones, you name it, it's probably on it. So, what's the genre of the game that made it sell 20 million copies? It's a farming simulator. You basically have to help a town grow after you inherit your grandfather's old farm. You have to water plants, maintain animals, maintain relationships, etc, etc, etc. But that's not all this game has to offer. If it was just that, it would be okay, but it wouldn't be such a great game that many love and still play today. Now granted, I'm only 20 hours in, so I haven't experienced all this game has to offer. However, one thing I have noticed is how you can play at your own pace in the game. Now, Animal Crossing New Leaf and the Animal Crossing series is great. It's my favorite game of all time. But the problem is that there's a daylight cycle, so you can only do certain things at certain times, and there's only so much you can do in one Animal Crossing day, which is based off the real world time. However, Stardew Valley goes a different direction, and rather than have a daylight cycle based on the real world time, it goes to a daylight cycle in about 14 minutes. So, if you want to play 1 or 2 days of Stardew Valley in 30 minutes, because that's all the time you have allotted for gaming, that's okay. But if you want to play an hour or two of the game, you can. And it's a great thing because people who have a lot of time to game can enjoy the game a lot, but people who don't have as much time to play the game can still get the full experience of the game. They just play it at a bit of a slower rate than people who have more time to game. Now, one thing I also really like about this game is the way you interact with all of the characters. The characters are really well designed in the game. From character design to the way they talk, etc, etc. You'll find your favorite character. However, the game incentivizes you to help out all of the townsfolk through gold, through their happiness, and the heart-to-hearts that they have every couple of friendship levels. The game does a really good job in this aspect because it incentivizes you to interact with all the townsfolk equally and see them blossom and see your friendship grow with them. Now, I do have one big gripe about this game, and that's the way the game saves your progress. Now, as I said earlier, each day is around 14 minutes long real-life time, and the only way the game saves is by you going to bed. There's no way to save midway through a day, which is really annoying, because if you sleep early in the day, you miss a Stardew Valley day, which is really important in the game. And now, I guess this could be a design choice or something to keep you from save scumming, and there's probably something like a PC mod that would fix this issue, but unfortunately, I play on Nintendo Switch, not PC. I wish there was a way you could turn on autosaves or something, so the game would save like every 2 minutes or so, so I wouldn't have to like go to bed or leave the game on while I have to go do something else. But that's just a minor issue in the grand scheme of the game. The game's great, and I would hardly recommend it to anyone who wants to play. It's on any console, so even if you play on phones, it's still on phones too, and it's a great game to play with friends as well if you're interested in that. And it's also a fun experience just to play alone. It's also a great game to play while you're talking with friends, because it doesn't take up too much of your attention, so you can still focus on the conversation. So overall, 20 hours in, I would say this game is worth it. Now, maybe I'll make an update video at some point in the future about my experiences, maybe 100 hours in or whatever, but overall, I would give this game 5 out of 5 stars so far. But hey, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and liking the video. I would really appreciate it, as it helps grow the channel. And I hope I gave you all a new game you all are interested in. But for now, I'll have to see you all later. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. This is Crystallized, signing off.